Hey everybody, it's Billy from Spicy Ginger Soap. I am going to make some soap cupcakes tonight. And this is my last of, let's see, 4 batches. So this is my 4th batch, I think. And basically my first batch was a total disaster. I'll show them to you. So this is one from my first batch. And what happened, the blue doesn't look as bad. I did steam it because it has soda ash on it, but you can tell the difference. Basically what happened was my soap batter would not thicken up. It was taking forever. And I had already put it in the piping bag, so I couldn't like stick blend it to just thicken it up. I already had it in the bags, and so as you can see, I actually, in this one, I changed things around, but I had 2 different pinks and white, and it all just mixed together into one just light pink. And so the next time that I made them, I made sure that I stick blended to make sure everything was really thick, and I ended up doing the 2 pinks in one piping bag. You can kind of see it a little bit better here. Like this is the bright pink, this is more like the magenta. And then I did the white and the blue in the other one. So this is like from the 2nd and 3rd batch. And this is what they should look like, and this is what they will look like, because I cannot sell these side by side. Or I could, but I won't. So these will, I don't know what I'm going to do with these, but these are the ones that are going to be going to my customer. I have to make 65, and they're for a tea party that is themed teal and magenta, and the theme is petals. So I made a nice, really beautiful floral mixture for the fragrance oil. And then we did, 2 different magentas, teal and white. So that's that. And I am going to show you guys the very last batch. We're going to go ahead and do it together. And you'll see, this fragrance oil, it moves a little slowly if you don't, it just doesn't accelerate. That's, I guess, what I should say. When I've done soap cupcakes before, the fragrance accelerated, and that kind of helped me because it just moved everything along really quickly. By the time I got everything in the bags, everything was super thick, and I just piped it right out. This is more what you would typically experience, I would say, because you have to wait a little bit for the soap to thicken up. And anyhow, I'm using neon magenta from Micah's and More. I've got, what is this one called? Ripe Berry from Micah's and More. And then I've got Turquoise Teal from Crafter's Choice. And I did a larger size batch this time, so I may need to add a tad of mica. I hope not, but it's quite possible that that might happen. And then I've got my titanium dioxide right here. So there we go. Let's go ahead and get moving. And it's funny, actually I think this might be my 5th batch, but the first 2 batches, no, it's my 4th. The first 2 batches moved really, really slowly, and then my last batch, the 3rd one, it actually was moving really quickly, so I don't know what was going on. My fellow soapers, though, know that, you can have these crazy experiences that you're not expecting. That's part of the adventures of soaping. You never know what's going to happen, and you do have different things happen. Oh, by the way, here's my little embeds. They're over here. my little flowers and my butterflies. They're made out of melt and pour. And I actually made my own melt and pour. And some of those flowers are made with what I made. Oh, I got to put my fragrance oil in. And like I said, this is a, oh, I didn't say actually. This has Rustic Essentials, Calabrian, Bergamot, and Violet, as well as several other florals that I mixed. So I mixed a fragrance oil mixture that I feel represents Petals, which is the theme of their tea party, perfectly. All right, so this is going to be for my white. Perfect. I'm just going to put the rest in here. I'm sure you guys have noticed I haven't posted a video for a while. My life has just been busy, busy, busy. My job has been keeping me very busy. So I haven't had time to post any videos, or really, I have been making stuff, but it's mainly bath bombs for the place where the store that I told you guys about, where I have my stuff for sale in a local mall here called the Meadows Mall. So of course, bath bombs are pretty popular, and they have been popular. So that is the thing that I've had to restock. I haven't had to restock any soaps. It's only been there a month, so and I did send a lot of soap, so I'm not surprised that they don't need more soap. And I'm actually pretty I'm pretty happy that I had to restock anything, to be honest, because I really didn't think I probably would need to. So I'm just tickled that I need to restock anything. I'm happy. All right, so here's my beautiful colors, and what I'm going to do is, just like I did before, I'm going to do the bases, and then if I need to stick blend my colors, then I'll do that at that time, because I'd like these to stay a little bit more fluid and liquid when I'm pouring them into the bases. So this is how I've been doing it. Obviously, there's like a million different ways that you can do it, and it's going to really depend on your fragrance oil and how quickly your fragrance oil moves. So we'll do my white, which this one I will obviously be stick blending just a tad. And the other thing that always is difficult about, well, that I've found difficult is that, of course, the white thickens up. And so I was having some issues piping because my white was so much thicker than my other colors. And so it was really difficult to pipe at just the right time. You know, I was having like runny color and thick white. Oh, it was kind of a nightmare. But eventually I did get it worked out. So that's how it goes, you know, you just gotta persevere. Okay, now my white's already a bit thick. Go ahead and get, what I've been doing is, I pour the white and then I pour my colors in, and then I just try to give them a little swirl. And when I get, as you can see, it's like I'm getting a little bit of an uneven pour, I'll just grab some with like a spoon and fix it. Or not. I mean, they don't have to be, they don't need to be perfect. One of my hairs. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm just going to grab a spoon and I'm going to transfer a little bit of these fuller ones. All right, gotta get moving. All right, and then I just do a little bit of each color. That was a little bit more than I wanted. I hope all is well for everyone out there. I hope all your soaping adventures have been going well. Oh my goodness, this is such a pain in my butt. And this one, like, I don't know, all soap cupcakes actually, I find you kind of have to, you need to be pretty quick. And I'm going to have to transfer a little bit, and some of these that are getting fuller than I want them to, and others that don't have quite as much in them as I want. But that's okay. I mean, the stuff isn't near as thick as I need it to be to pipe, so that's really all that matters, and that's what you have to keep in mind when you're doing these. You know, it's no big deal as long as it's not getting too thick to pipe, and you can pipe it pretty thick, so that's not usually an issue. All right. Last but not least, my teal. I'm going to wait on that one that's really full over there, and I'm going to transfer a little of it before I put my teal in that one. And I usually end up with a little bit more of the blue, which is okay with me. And then I mix that obviously with the white, like I said before. I kind of like to get like each color in the sides so they show up on the side of the cupcake. Obviously, as they use the cupcake, they're going to see all the swirls and it's going to look really pretty. But until they get into it, I like for there to be a little bit of each color represented in the cupcakes. Let's see if I need, yeah, over here. And basically, you know, if you get it perfectly, you won't have to do this, but getting things perfect is not always the easiest thing to do. All right. Now I'm just going to grab my skewer and then I just mix everything around. And this is basically how I've done it each time. And most of this swirl will come through as they start using the bar. It doesn't show as much on the outside. I'd like it to, but and then of course I tap it down, make sure there's no air bubbles. I made all the embeds out of melt and pour. And like I said before, I actually made my own melt and pour. I've been kind of wanting to try that, and I wasn't even sure if there was a recipe to do your own melt and pour, but I found one. And basically it was a glycerin soap recipe online that you could substitute propylene glycol. I think that's what was that I said. I'll check before the end of the video. And if you used that, it would become melt and pour instead of just regular glycerin soap. So I did it. And the only difference in mine, it's not quite as clear as I'd like it to be, which I think most of the people that did the recipe commented that theirs wasn't as clear as they'd like it to be either. But other than that, it's pretty good. And the only other issue is that it gets the skin on top. It gets a skin quicker than I would say commercial melt and pour does. So you can't melt it as many times and stuff like that. But other than that, it works really good. Okay, I'm going to just pound these down a little bit. I'm doing it on the carpet so I don't make a ton of noise. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, as you guys can see, it's still pretty fluid, so I'm going to stick blend these, and I'm going to get them into the piping bags, and then I'll bring you guys back to pipe, okay? All right, I'm ready to go ahead and pipe. Basically, I like to use this one first for the inside because, as you can see, at first it was starting out just white. So that part isn't going to really show. So I can do it until the blue shows up, which works out perfect for me. So there we go. I just do that one in the bottom because I have more of this one. That's really the only reason I do that one first, because this one's actually going to be on the top. And then the pink is my bottom color. And I really hope that I end up having like the perfect amount . And this got pretty thick. But as you can see, it's fine. Piping with fairly thick soap batter is actually, I prefer it. You don't have anything running all over. Sits exactly where you want it to. And I think it looks better. It looks more like frosting. Let me make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. And I've got the two pinks. And I'm basically just doing a quick circle around. This is a clothes star tip, a jumbo clothes star tip. If anybody's curious, I don't know the number, I just know the name of it. I'm going to have more than I thought. So, I think what I'll do is I'll just do a nice little dollop, I guess. I wanted to make sure that I had, if anything, too much, and I didn't want to run out. So now we're going to go ahead and go on to the tops. And basically, same thing, except I'm just doing it a little bit smaller. Uh-oh. Well, that didn't, dang it. See, when you got, basically what happened is my white and my blue are not the same thickness, and so I got a little bit of a funky pipe right there. It happens. Okay, so I'm going to come back and like right here I have a little bit less than the others. It's hard to, well, for me it is anyways. I don't know about everybody, but it's kind of hard for me to get them perfectly even. And maybe that's partly because I'm always worried I'm going to run out and not have enough of everything. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and put their little embellishments on. And I did pink and white flowers, but for this batch I've just got white flowers. Little daisies. And then I've got pink and gold butterflies. And the little butterfly I usually try to use if I've got one area that I want to cover up. You know, if I've got an area that doesn't look so perfect, I'll use the little butterfly to cover it up. But if everything looks okay, I just pop it on. And then I can come back in later on and press it in with my skewer. Basically, that's what I do. Just press it in a little bit, make sure it's in there good. Oh, that one broke. Darn it. Aren't those cute? These were so much fun to make. I've definitely enjoyed this new adventure of making soap cupcakes. You know, I hadn't made them before, and then made my first batch for the little rubber ducky soap cupcakes, and those were so much fun. And you know, basically when somebody saw some of those, then that's how this order came about. You know, they wanted some. And they've been just so much fun to make. You know, because I designed exactly how I wanted them to look, and then because the people that wanted me to make them for them, they didn't tell me what to do. They just told me, you know, what their theme was, or, you know, certain elements they might want, and then they let me just go to town. So here they are. Look at that. Aren't they cute? If you guys haven't done these before, you should really try it. It's a lot of fun, and as long as you have everything, my advice would be make sure you have everything prepared, everything ready to go, you know, your bags and your tips ready, and your embeds, whatever you're going to use. Just have everything ready, and then that way, if you have a fragrance oil that moves a little bit quicker, which, you know, it's kind of a good thing when it moves quickly. As long as you are an experienced soaper, you're not like a newbie, you'll be fine. If you're newer, you definitely don't want to use a fragrance oil that accelerates. But in my opinion, if you are an experienced soaper, you may prefer a fragrance oil that accelerates. I do. All right, there we are. That is it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Thank you for watching. Thanks for sticking out and waiting for me to come back. I know it's been a little while, but I'll definitely be back with some more videos soon. I want to make a couple makeup videos. I want to do some more matte eyeshadows, and then maybe like some light spring colors. So stay tuned for that. I'll see you guys soon. Subscribe if you haven't already. Bye.